we'll do a seated twist with a chair. So have a seat sideways on your chair and adjust the flesh of your buttocks so that you can really sit on the front half of your sitting bones and have your feet flat. And then twist so that you face the back of the chair. And use your hands on the back of the chair to help you twist a little deeper. You'll find that one hand can push and one hand can pull. And that can help you turn your rib cage around a little more. See if you can allow the heads of the humerus bones to stay back in the shoulder sockets. So there's a feeling that the shoulders are back and the shoulder blades are sliding down from top to bottom, and you still stay long through the inner trunk. And then release the twist and spin around on the chair so that you can do the other side. Again, adjust the flesh of the buttocks. Pull the flesh of the buttocks back behind the sitting bones. And this way you can maintain the natural curves of the spine as you sit tall. So sitting tall comes easily because your bones are organized and you don't stress out your muscles by contriving an upright seat. And then turn and twist towards the back of the chair. And use your hands on the back of the chair. And if you practice, you'll find that one hand can push and one hand can pull. And that will very naturally help you deepen your twist. Take your shoulders back, lift the low belly, turn the belly, turn the ribs, turn the collarbones. Breathe here as you're deep in the twist. And then release and come back to center. And spin around on the chair so that you can do the other side. And adjust the flesh of your buttocks so that you can really sit on the front half of your sitting bones and have your feet flat. And then twist so that you face the back of the chair. And use your hands on the back of the chair to help you twist a little deeper. You'll find that one hand can push and one hand can pull. And that can help you turn your rib cage around a little more. See if you can allow the heads of the humerus bones to stay back in the shoulder sockets. So there's a feeling that the shoulders are back and the shoulder blades are sliding down from top to bottom, and you still stay long through the inner trunk. And then release the twist and spin around on the chair so that you can do the other side. Again, adjust the flesh of the buttocks. Pull the flesh of the buttocks back behind the sitting bones. And this way you can maintain the natural curves of the spine as you sit tall. So sitting tall comes easily because your bones are organized and you don't stress out your muscles by contriving an upright seat. And then turn and twist towards the back of the chair. And use your hands on the back of the chair. And if you practice, you'll find that one hand can push and one hand can pull. And that will very naturally help you deepen your twist. Take your shoulders back, lift the low belly, turn the belly, turn the ribs, turn the collarbones. Breathe here as you're deep in the twist. And then release and come back to center. Now we'll practice heel on the chair pose. So stand in front of the chair and place your left heel onto the chair seat. Hands on hips, and make sure that your right thigh isn't sitting forward, but rather pull the right thigh back and pull the left thigh back into the hip socket, and then lift the low belly up off the pelvis and continue ascending the trunk from bottom to top, lifting the belly and the rib cage, and then stretch your arms overhead. Be strong in those arms, stretching the hands open, thumbs pull back, shoulder blades snuggle in, and think of gathering the outer body in as you press the right thigh back So the front of the right thigh pulls back towards the back of the leg. Stretch through the left leg and pull the left thigh bone back into the hip socket. Standing nice and tall, and then exhale, release the arms out to the sides and down, and we'll switch sides. So take your right heel up onto this chair seat now. Hands on hips. Lift the low belly. Pull the front of the left thigh back so that you're really standing over the left arch, and there's no sitting forward at all. Pull the right thigh back into the hip socket. Lift the belly, lift the side ribs, front ribs, back ribs. Stretch up through the waist, the armpits, the arms, open hands, thumbs reaching back, shoulder blades snuggling into the rib cage. Left thigh bone back. Make sure you're internally rotated at the very tops of the thighs. Squeeze your outer hips into the midline. Gather the outer body in and get taller. Breathing here as you balance. And then exhale and release your arms down and stand on 2 feet. Now we'll practice a twist balance with the chair. So stand facing the chair seat, have a little space between you and the chair, and then lift the left leg up and place your left foot on the chair seat and the left knee is bent. And make sure that your right thigh isn't sitting forward, but rather pull the right thigh back. And then start to twist your belly and rib cage to the left. So your right hand will come to the outer left knee. Left hand on left hip and left shoulder is opening. Think of pulling the front of the right thigh back in space so you're standing directly over the right arch, grounding through the right inner foot. And then lengthen up through that right leg, all the way up through the anterior spine. Open your left arm so that you can look back at the left hand, wide across the chest, lifted in the low belly, grounded in the feet. And then exhale and release, and stand on 2 feet, and we'll switch sides. And now lift your right leg up and place your right foot onto the chair seat. Hands on hips to start. Front of the left thigh pulls back in space. Gather your outer hips towards the midline. And from that foundation, start to twist the belly to the right. Pull the right ribs back, left ribs forward. Shoulders to the back of the shoulder sockets. Open your right arm out as you see here. Left hand to the outer right knee to help you twist. Pull the front of the left thigh back. Gather the outer hips in. And ascend deep inside your trunk. Find an ascension of the central axis. Open and relaxed in the back of the throat. Lengthening up through the top of the head. And then exhale and release back to center. Now we'll practice Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. Start in Tadasana. Hands on hips and step your feet wide so the feet are parallel, and then even bring your toes a little further in so heels are wider than toes, and stand tall. And then externally rotate the whole right leg and turn your left toes in even more. Stretch your arms out to the sides, widen through the collarbones, and exhale as you bend the right knee so the right knee comes directly over the right heel. Be strong in the back leg and let the right butt cheek drop down and under you as the right knee opens more to the right. Lift the low belly, spread from the collarbones to the thumbs, and gather from the pinky fingers towards the shoulder blades. It's okay if that back hip is coming forward slightly, so your hips do not have to be flat open laterally. Pull the left thigh back, right buttock releasing down. And then inhale and straighten the front leg, and we'll switch sides. So hands on hips while you externally rotate the left leg. Turn the right toes in even more. And then ascend the spine from bottom to top as you stretch the arms. And exhale, bend your left knee directly over the left heel. Lift the low belly. Straighten the back leg. It's okay if that back hip is coming forward slightly. So your hips do not have to be flat open laterally. There should be a feeling of the right hip coming forward a little, and then you release the left butt cheek down and firm the center of the left buttock forward towards the groin. Keeping the left knee open, keeping the back leg strong and extended. Be earthy in your legs. And then inhale to straighten the front leg. Come to parallel feet, hands on hips, and step your feet together. Now we'll practice side angle pose. Start in Tadasana with feet together. And then bring your hands onto your hips and step your feet wide. Have your toes pointing in so the heels are a little wider than toes. Long spine, shoulders back. And then turn the right leg all the way out and the left toes in a little more. Shoulders to the back of the shoulder sockets, long in the waist, and then bend the right knee deeply. Rest the right forearm onto the right thigh and get long from the left heel all the way through the top of the head. So the trunk is on a diagonal here, lengthening in line with the back leg, which is straight and extended. And then lift the left arm to the ceiling to help you open the left ribs. Think of lifting the belly to the ceiling. And think of grounding that right sitting bone forward towards the right groin. So the buttocks is not reaching back behind you. And then take the top arm all the way up and across, gazing at the top hand, and find a nice long line of energy from back heel all the way up through the top hand. And then inhale and lift yourself out of the pose, straightening the legs, hands to hips and change sides, turning the left leg all the way out, turn the right toes even more in, shoulders back, long spine, bend the left knee deeply, rest the left forearm onto the left thigh, and open the right shoulder so that the front of your trunk is pointing straight forward. Long line from the back heel, extended in the back leg, and all the way through the spine, through the top of the head. And then lift the right arm up, lift the belly to the ceiling, open the right ribs, drop the left butt cheek down and under you, and ground the center of that left butt cheek forward towards the groin. Strong in the back leg. Ground the right thigh back in space as you extend the knee. And then take that top arm all the way across so that it continues that diagonal line, gazing at the top palm. Strong in the back leg. Very bent in the front knee. Lifted in the low belly. And turn the right ribs open towards the ceiling. Gather the left butt cheek more underneath you. And then inhale and come all the way up to straight legs, arms extending to the sides, hands to hips, feet parallel. Recover with an open chest, and then step your feet together. Now we'll practice Paschimottanasana with a chair. So have a seat on the edge of the chair seat and adjust the flesh of your buttocks so that you can sit on the front of the sitting bones. And then extend your legs out so that your heels will come forward a little bit. Open feet, open toes, hands on the chair seat behind you to lift and open the chest. Lift the entire spine, each vertebrae lifting off of the one that's underneath it, shoulders back. And then start to hinge at the hips to come forward and grab onto the outer edges of the feet. You can have bent knees here. If that's easier for you, that's fine. If you have tight hamstrings, then bent knees will be a good idea. Elbows lifting, lengthening the trunk forward towards the toenails. No hardening in the belly or the throat here. So the belly recedes and lengthens. The back of the throat is open. The legs are active and engaged, whether the knees are bent or straight. And you elongate the trunk forward towards the feet. Enjoy the nice incline that the chair provides. Let gravity help you here. And then start to lift up out of the pose, taking the hands to the chair seat, shoulders back. Bend your knees and feet flat. Hands resting on thighs and pause. Now we'll practice Supta Padangustasana. So have a strap nearby and lay down on your back. Adjust the flesh of your buttocks so that it moves away from the lower back towards the feet. Have your knees bent and feet flat, and then extend your arms overhead. Lengthen the arms and lengthen the trunk. Lengthen the front of the spine. Relaxed long belly. Open rib cage. Soft in the back of the throat. Neutral pelvis. And then grab your strap and lasso the right heel with the strap. And start to extend your right leg so that it's up at 90 degrees. And if this is difficult for you, you can keep your knee bent. And then start to extend the left leg. Make sure that the left leg is internally rotating just enough so that the midline of the front of your left leg is pointing straight up. And then think of the center of the left thigh grounding and the center of the right thigh moving away from the belly. Stay long and even in the belly. Shoulder blades slide down the back. Heads of the humerus bones ground towards the sticky mat. Open in the chest as you breathe. Long spine, open chest, extended legs, and reach the right heel straight up towards the ceiling. The top half of the right thigh is pulling away from the right side of the abdomen. The outer right hip is pulling away from the right waist. Internally rotate the left thigh and ground it down. Extend through the inner left foot. And then you can start to let the elbows bend out to the sides and pull the right ankle a little bit closer to your head as the top of the right thigh moves towards the left foot. So that right leg is like a seesaw. If the foot moves towards the head, then the top of the leg moves away from the head. Enjoy the stretch here, long spine. And then release, and we'll switch sides. But before we take the left leg up, just rest the strap on your belly and extend your arms along the floor overhead, lengthening there. Just take a breath. And then lasso the left heel with the strap, kicking the left heel up towards the ceiling. Again, taking a bent knee, if that helps you keep your pelvis neutral. You don't want to tuck your pelvis here at all. And then extend the right leg long, internally rotating the right leg a bit, grounding down through that right thigh. Pull the outer left hip away from the left waist. Shoulder blades down the back, long spine, relaxed long belly, elbows wide. Kick the left heel up. Ground the center of the right thigh down. Ground the center of the left thigh away from the abdomen. So that left waist and left side of the abdomen is very long. And if you start to pull the left ankle a little more towards the head, make sure that the root of the left leg pulls away from the abdomen towards the right foot. Long spine, open breath, relaxed throat, relaxing in the groins. Find an internal rotation in the legs and relaxed groins. a neutral pelvis here as much as possible, active in the extension of the knees. And then bend your knees, feet flat. Bring your arms up and overhead to extend through the elbows and extend through the waist. Nice and even in right and left sides. And now we'll practice Supta Padangustasana 4. We'll go part way first and then full way. So have your strap nearby, extend your arms, extend your legs, roll the thighs inwards a little bit, ground the thighs. And then keep that sense of length in your trunk as you lasso the right heel, extend the right leg all the way up to the ceiling, and extend the left leg along the floor, long in the low belly, outer right hip moves away from the right waist. You can have a bent right knee here if that's better for you. Long spine. And then grab onto the strap with the left hand only and take your right hand onto the outer right thigh hip area. And see if you can pull that outer right thigh and hip area away from the right waist. And keep that happening as you extend the right arm out to the right and let the right leg move over to the left, just about a foot. So you're starting to cross the leg over towards the left side, keeping extended in that right knee, keeping long in the right waist. And then come back to center and we'll switch sides. Now lassoing the left heel, reach the left leg up, again bending the knee if that's better for you, and extend the right leg long, profound internal rotation at the very top of that right thigh to keep the groin relaxed. Long belly, long in the front of the spine, elbows wide, shoulder blades sliding down the back. And then grab onto the strap very close to the foot with the right hand only. And the left hand will come to the outer left hip and thigh, encouraging that outer left hip to move away from the left waist, staying long in the left waist. And extend your left arm out to the left as you pull the leg over to the right side, just about a foot. Stay open in the backs of the knees, pulling that leg across the body, but not too much, so the sacrum should stay grounded. Enjoying the stretch in the outer thigh here. And then come back to center. And then release, bending both knees, feet flat. Reach your arms overhead and then stretch both your legs out, internally rotating at the tops of the thighs, lengthening through the arms, stretching the knees and the elbows. And then lasso the right heel with the strap and extend your right leg up. Try not to tuck the pelvis to extend the right leg up. And then extend the left leg along the floor. And now we'll go even deeper. So grab onto the strap again. Make sure you have a nice grip close to the right foot. And now take your right leg all the way across so that your right foot will come to the floor. Stretch your right arm to the right so you're in a nice deep twist now. Passive enough that you can rest here and let the weight of your body drop and relax into the floor, but active enough so that you stay long in the trunk and you stay engaged in your mind, long in the limbs. And then inhale back to center, taking your right leg up, and then release, and we'll do the other side. So now lasso the left heel with the strap and kick that left heel up. Extend the right leg long on the floor. Internally rotate the right thigh. Long spine, relaxed belly, shoulder blades sliding down the back. And then once again, grab onto the strap with your right hand, grabbing close to the foot. And let your leg travel all the way over to the right so that your foot comes to the floor near your right hand. Stretch your left arm to the left and enjoy this big spinal twist here. So be relaxed here and receptive. Gently offer yourself a feeling of extending through the limbs and the spine. Mostly just allowing yourself to receive this deep spinal twist, relaxing into the sticky mat and the floor. And then come back up to the center, pausing here. Organize yourself. And then release, knees bent and feet flat. And rest. Now we'll practice happy baby pose. So be on your back with knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Neutral pelvis, neutral spine. Take a breath here. And then bring your knees into your chest with nice wide knees, so the knees are wider than the rib cage. And then take your arms out to the sides and up and grab onto the outer edges of the feet as you see here. And you can play a little bit in this pose, pulling the right knee down a little bit towards the right armpit and then pulling the left knee down towards the left armpit. You can play with changing the tilt of your pelvis. Make sure that you keep your knees at an angle of about 90 degrees. Don't let your knees close up. So the heels should kick away from the sitting bones. And enjoy this deep fold in the hip creases. Let the lower back relax and release here. Pull those outer feet down and stretch the inner feet up towards the ceiling. Nice long spine, open breath. And then release and let your feet come down to the floor one leg at a time. Stretch your arms overhead along the floor. Get long in your trunk and then release your legs down one at a time so that you're all stretched out here. Straight arms and straight legs. Parallel arms and legs. Roll your thighs in. Lengthen the inner feet forward. And once again, come to rest. Now we'll practice a reverse bridge. So sit down on your buttocks, have your knees bent and feet flat in front of you. Hands behind you with your fingers pointing towards your buttocks, feet parallel. And then press into your feet and your hands and lift the buttocks up as you see here. Lifting the right and left sides of the tailbone up. Lift the rib cage up off of your arms. Gather your outer knees in towards each other and lift the buttocks and the tailbone and the shoulder blades so much that you can let your head release back, grounding the inner feet, gathering the outer knees. And then exhale and release your buttocks down. And now turn your hands so that your fingertips point all the way back. Shoulders back. Feet are grounded, and then scoop the buttocks and lift the buttocks up again. Gather the outer thighs, lift the center buttocks, lift the outer hips. Let the inner thighs release down as you lift the outer hips more and lift the shoulder blades more and let the head release back. Extend through the elbows. Press into the feet. And then exhale and sit your buttocks back down. We'll complete this practice with chair shavasana. Put the chair on your sticky mat and sit down close to the front of the chair and then swing your legs up onto the chair and lay down. And please adjust the flesh of your buttocks to pull the flesh of your buttocks away from your low back. And then adjust the shoulders so your shoulder blades are settled nicely down your back, and let the arms relax. Let the legs be supported by the chair. Let the lower back be supported by the floor. And let your whole body relax and release down. Smooth and steady your breathing here.